This program is brought to you by in association with.
I've always believed life is greater with opportunities in my hands. The ground to realize my children's dream. Supporting the family with my own means. With stability. A bit of luxury. A secure future for them. And a fully rewarding life for me, just the way I planned for it. I've always believed life is greater with opportunities in my hands. The ground to realize my children's dream. Supporting the family with my own means. With stability. A bit of luxury. A secure future for them. And a fully rewarding life for me, just the way I planned for it.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Emaan Pakistan. I'm Talal Jalani and together we mean business. आज के शो में हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे प्राइवेट इक्विटी और एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप इन पाकिस्तान को। इंडिया और चाइना के बाद पाकिस्तान ने भी प्राइवेट इक्विटी और वेंचर कैपिटलिस्ट की तरफ अपने बहुत अच्छे साइन शो किए। According to, especially after SECP actually came up with private equity and venture capitalist regulation in 2008. In this regard, the Pakistan Venture Capital Association of Europe has been facilitating European investors to invest in venture capitalist and private equity markets in Pakistan since 2008. In 2012, Indus Basin Holding, a Pakistan private equity firm, appointed David Miliband, former Britain Foreign Secretary, as a key advisor. ePlanet Ventures and Draper Fisher Jurvetson, which are actually two Silicon Valley capture, joined hands with Naseeb Network for Pakistan online recruitment firm to source human capital from Pakistan. Now latest is Islamabad Chamber of Commerce was seen active by organizing Global Entrepreneurship Week in 2011. इसी टॉपिक को जिसमें हम एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप को डिस्कस करेंगे, हमारे साथ इस वक्त स्टूडियो में मौजूद हैं जनाब खालिद मोहम्मद साहब। तारिक सर, वेलकम टू द शो।
थैंक यू।
खालिद मोहम्मद साहब इज द ग्रुप मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर फॉर इमेजिन ग्रुप। इनके साथ साथ हमारे पास स्टूडियो में मौजूद है इस वक्त तारा उजरा दाऊद। अस्सलाम वालेकुम मैम, वेलकम टू द शो। Tara Uzra Daud is the Chief Executive Officer for Daud Capital Management. खालिद साहब, सबसे पहले मैं आपकी तरफ आना चाहूँगा और आपसे एक सवाल पूछना चाहूँगा कि how encouraging it has been for entrepreneurs to establish new trends in Pakistan.
देखिए, ये बड़ी कंफ्यूजिंग किस्म से सवाल हो गया। एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप पाकिस्तान में कोई बेस नहीं है। यहाँ पे बहुत सारे लोग फ्रीलांस से काम शुरू करते हैं और बढ़ते जा रहे और कंपनी बन जाते हैं, लेकिन कोई फॉर्मल ट्रेनिंग नहीं होती। एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप है क्या, कंपनी किस तरह बनाते, कंपनी किस तरह चलाते। तो हमारा सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज जो है वो कंपनीज को क्रिएट करने, बिकॉज लोग के पास बहुत टैलेंट है, लेकिन टैलेंट को कंपनी बनाने में बड़ी मुश्किल होती है। And we don't get a lot of help from universities or from the government in setting these things up, because in Pakistan, the person who has the money sets up the big business and makes whatever they want out of it. But the new businesses, the young kids coming out of college who have great ideas, there's no support for them in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
So it's been a very big challenge for us.
So, actually, universities are the main key to it. This is what you meant to say.
Yep.
So how do you think universities are actually contributing to it or not?
I think they're trying, but I don't think they have the right idea. Because देखिए, पाकिस्तान में कोई ऐसी entrepreneurship की मॉडल नहीं है।
Okay.
यहाँ पे लोग को समझ आते कंपनी को सेटअप करने,
ठीक है,
बट कंपनी सेटअप करने और छोटे स्केल से कंपनी को लॉन्च करने वो दूसरी चीज़ है। Like I said, there's a lot of talent here in Pakistan, but the problem is that our universities aren't helping our would-be entrepreneurs turn into business people. And we have a lot of talent coming out, but the talent just does not end up running businesses.
Okay, apart from universities, what do you think? What else can actually contribute to this?
Well, I think our private sector needs to buy in.
Okay.
If you look at global economies, if you look at the US, if you look at Europe, The success of entrepreneurship has been because private sector companies have bought in and mentored these entrepreneurs. We don't have a mentoring process here.
Okay.
तो एक बंदा जो कंपनी सेटअप करते, अगर उसको कोई मुश्किल नजर आते तो किसके पास जाके सवाल करने, किसके पास जाके पूछने. So there's no support network for these guys that start up their own companies, and they end up going out of business, or they run into trouble, and they say, I can't do it anymore.
And what about the policies? Does the government actually support with the policy?
The government is really secondary to us when it comes to entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is something that's got to come from the universities, it's got to come from the private sector.
Okay.
The government can help us by setting up policies, by helping drive an entrepreneurship economy, an ideas-based economy for us. Pakistan for a long time has been agriculture-based, and because we are an agriculture-based economy, we don't see a lot in the ideas. If you're looking to go into farming, if you're looking to build something in the agriculture industry, you get all kinds of help from the government. But if you're looking to set up a software house, if you're looking to set up a services industry, the government doesn't know how to help you. Okay. So we need more people in the government that understand that if you want Pakistan's economy to grow, you need to invest into these ideas, you need to invest into these people, so down the road we have more job creation. We have more people out earning money for the country. It's a great way to bring in export revenue. But we need to understand that the possibility is there, and our policymakers don't understand it yet.
That's good. Tara, you're also from a venture capitalist firm, right? So what are your views about it?
Well, to be very honest, Dowd Capital Management Limited is an asset management company, but its roots were Pakistan Venture Capital Limited. Okay. Started by ADB jointly with the Dowd family in '99. It was started by ADB in '91, and it petered out because of the fact that it was a risk-averse climate at that time. So in 2003, we converted it to Dowd Capital Management, which is an asset management company, because that was a nascent area of growth. Ironically, and I think quite charmingly, we're now looking to launch a venture capital fund. And we've been in talks with the SECP about granting licenses so we can proceed to do so, especially to launch the country's first one for women. And we've in fact even been talking to Khalid while waiting today about joining together for that.
Okay, but how much encouraging it is basically for the young ones in Pakistan to actually promote business or do business?
It's fabulous, and Pakistan's becoming better and better every day. We have our conferences every year. LEC 2010, we had an LEC 2011. 700 people come, including 400 male and female students, representing 10 different universities. Okay. Even LUM students come out. Many of the universities sponsor their top 10 rock star students. Every other student pays to come. We found that we have IBA's Dr. Ishrat Hussain is on our advisory council, and we also have many other prominent people there. Iqra University is partnering with us for now scholarships. We're looking to do intercollegiate entrepreneurship workshops now. Everyone we speak to, from companies, private sector, the first year our awards for women in 2008, Pakistan's first awards for women, were partnered with the Women Ministry. Oh, so great. We found incredible support from the government, from the private sector. Our awards this year have 34 partners and sponsors and growing every day. And so we've been overwhelmed with that. And now we've been in talks with Hafiz Sheikh, the finance minister, about looking to create tax incentives to create our VC or private equity fund into an 8-year structure to get foreign investment in and to make it more worthwhile.
What do you think that
and he's been very responsive.
Okay.
Thank you.
And what do you think, like, what positive roles or impact is this venture capitalist trend in Pakistan is actually playing on economy of Pakistan?
It's actually incredible because not only are we having the training, the students that are our student advisory board have gone on to have ignited IOBM. There's Exciter, another one coming up next week at Baria, and every university has their own. Then as these students, already one of our student advisory board members from 2008, he started a car leasing company. He's also bringing export of items from Apple to Pakistan. There's so many interesting things going on. Our head of our student advisory board is looking to fuel tourism. And each of these people actually are carpe diem. They're so excited. They're starting their projects, and they're finding the resources.
So they are actually boosting up the economy for Pakistan.
Absolutely, and money's coming in, and money's circling, and that's the way it should be.
So what do you think, Khalid sir? Is there really some positive role towards the economy?
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. Look, when you look at entrepreneurship globally, it always has a very positive effect on the economy. And if you look at how entrepreneurship entrepreneurial companies have increased job growth, have increased export revenue, have increased the level of services offered in the country, have increased competition, the competitive nature of other companies. There's always a positive effect. Our only concern has been that there's no policy support behind it. And those people that are out there starting their own businesses, because of the way the Pakistan is running right now, the way the economy is, the problems that they have with collection, the problems they have with dealing with contracts, they're not getting a lot of support. And you see a lot of companies struggling because of this. I mean, we know a lot of companies that have started in the past couple of years that because they're brand new startups, they don't get paid on time, and clients tell them, well, if you can't collect from us anyway because we're so big and we're this, there's no support at all to help these companies out. And when you're a startup, the whole thing is earning the money to run the business because you don't have the big bank account to run your company.
Okay, you've been to places definitely.
Yeah.
So what do you think? How do you compare the private equity market of Pakistan with other nations?
Okay, you have to look at private equity in two different ways. There's bank-based, financial institution-based private equity, and then there's the venture capital side of private equity. Financial institution-based private equity is very strong in Pakistan. We see a lot of big companies, a lot of big investment happening in the country. But when you look at entrepreneurship, it's foreign companies that are coming in, foreign investors that are coming in that are funding these companies.
Okay.
And it's almost like our own private equity, our own venture capital industry, our own financial institutions aren't interested in funding these companies. It's very hard to find people in Pakistan that are interested in investing. And that's where I think the biggest problem is for us.
So what about small companies, small people who are interested in this enterprises, when we talk about small enterprises? So how about the trend of private equity towards small enterprises?
What do you define as a small enterprise?
I mean, small companies like different new people coming into the market,
right?
And actually they want to, they're small based actually, the business is really small based, so they want to actually learn something about private equity in Pakistan with great ideas, definitely.
Right. If you're talking about small companies here in Pakistan looking for private equity, I think they can find the money that they need, but they will have to approach 5, 6, 7 different investors to get the money that they need. There's not one person that will come out and say, look, well, I'll back your business. Because there is a lot of risk in backing a startup.
Okay.
And when you back a startup, you're taking a lot of risk on your own shoulders. That what if the company fails? What if these guys walk away? What if this happens? What if this happens? And because Pakistan is so concerned about making the money on the backside when we don't see a proper investment system here as far as entrepreneurship goes, we are a little bit hesitant in making that investment. Whereas when you look at foreign companies that come into Pakistan, they understand that, look, the risk is there, but the return is also there. And to get the return, we need to take the risk. So they will invest anywhere from 100,000 rupees to 1 million rupees into a company and say, look, you have 2 years, you have 3 years, we're here to help. And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, well, it was a chance.
You've been working quite well for. So how has it been after the financial crisis of 2008?
Yeah, the financial crisis has actually brought about a lot of new entrepreneurs.
Okay.
I think this government has also brought about a lot of new entrepreneurs. Because,
that's good.
Well, yeah, I agree. But see, again, we come back to the same problem. There's a lot of great ideas, but getting someone to go from idea to entrepreneur is a very difficult task.
Okay.
Because I may have a great idea, but getting from the idea to the actual implementation.
Can you jot down some steps to get down to the idea from
to the actual implementation?
To the actual implementation.
Well, you have to see if the idea is actually viable for Pakistan. And that's where we have the biggest problem, is that you get a lot of people that say, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. The hardest part we have with entrepreneurs is to help them understand that, look, it's a great idea, but is Pakistan really ready for it? Do we have the buying power? Do we have the market for it? Because if 2 years down the line you still haven't sold anything, then it's not a good investment for anybody.
Okay.
We have actually sat down with entrepreneurs and said, look, this is a great idea that you've got here, but let's go backwards 3 steps. Because there has to be a base built for this. So let's start from here, build the base so we can get to this goal in the end. And we start them from a smaller scale and work them up to a bigger level.
Okay.
Because we understand Pakistan to have a lot of opportunity, to have a lot of potential. We know a lot of foreign product is bought here. We know a lot of foreign services brought into Pakistan. But to get the same money spent on Pakistanis is almost impossible.
Okay.
And
ma'am, you've been also working, or actually dealing with a lot of youngsters, with a lot of people who might have some ideas, some great ideas even. So what do you think? What can be the steps, or what are the steps, the process which takes you from the idea to the actual implementation?
There's a wonderful quotation from the late, great Steve Jobs that, and I'm paraphrasing it quite badly right now, but it says something to the effect that people don't always know what they want till you show it to them.
Okay.
And the reason I'm bringing that up is that anything is possible, and it begins with a vision and a dream. And that's what we like to fuel. And we feel there's so many people who are going to come out and support those. But keep in mind, even in Silicon Valley, you have to knock on many doors before someone gives you money. Now, here in Pakistan, we've become nominating partners. We've been for the past year for All World, and it's Pakistan fastest growing companies, and Arabia 500.
Okay.
Since we became nominating partners through our foundation, the Dawud Global Foundation, and its platform, Ladies Fund, Pakistan had more women winners than any other country in the world. And in addition to that, Sion, which is a Dawud Group company, is now going to be investing. It's partnering as a sponsor with All World, and is going to be financing the winners. And the winners of the Pakistan, not only were women winners more than any other country in the world, Pakistani winners, male and female both, were the second in the entire Arabia 500,
Okay.
of which the number one from Pakistan, Abid Butt, I think his company grew more than 1,000%. So think about it, and this all happened during the recession.
Okay.
So keep in mind, not only are recessions great for entrepreneurs, because you're young, you're hungry, you have nothing to lose.
Okay, that's
We
the point.
believe entrepreneurs will always find a way if they're the kind who, if their dream is one they're willing to work hard for, they'll find the way. And one of the first things we taught in LEC 2010, our first conference, our awards began in 2008, but our conferences began in 2010, was that not everyone's cut out to be an entrepreneur. Our first panel is always about, is this right for you? Are you better off being brand manager at a multinational like Unilever, having maternity leave or having job security, and also having vacations? Entrepreneurs sometimes don't get to see a vacation or time off because the buck really does stop there.
They really do work.
So there should never be this concept of birthright to entrepreneurship.
Exactly.
It is that you're prepared to be hungry enough for it, work hard for it, and then the universe will make it happen for you. And we've seen it in Pakistan live. And one other thing that we've done very different about our conferences is we always showcase rags to riches Pakistani dream entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And so we never take people who've got inherited money or a legacy. We always showcase people who've come without the name, the connections, the capital, and have made it happen with the same Bijli, the same governments, whichever they are,
governments,
the
exactly.
same level playing field, and have become rock stars.
We'll continue with a break, and we'll be asking something about women empowerment, which you've been working for lately.
Thank you.
We'll continue after a break. मिलते हैं break के बाद.
This program is brought to you by in association with
I've always believed life is greater with opportunities in my hands. The ground to realize my children's dream. Supporting the family with my own means. With stability. A bit of luxury. A secure future for them. And a fully rewarding life for me. Just the way I planned for it. I've always believed life is greater with opportunities in my hands. The ground to realize my children's dream. Supporting the family with my own means. With stability. A bit of luxury. A secure future for them. And a fully rewarding life for me. Just the way I planned for it.